And we're gonna have to see that here. I'm very excited, guys. What do you think about this draft tool? We're working on it. We're trying to get that hashtag production level going. You know what I mean? And speaking of the draft, we're gonna be jumping right into it here and see what we can get going in terms of bands picks. Again, guys, FaZe is available for play, and last time she was banned out. We'll see if that's the case this time around.
I mean, why would she not be? I know that 3-second blind drives me nuts. Her regen is really, really strong. I would not be surprised if we see her banned out from play right now. So it is not the replay has decided that it doesn't want to work. It said no.
That's okay.
Let's
That's
not
okay,
jump
my
into
man.
the replay, Shane. So
That's okay.
While we get this fixed, guys, we're going to chat a little bit more here about the logo. Can we talk about that paint logo, Shane? Brown Eye Bandits logo.
I mean,
it's a happy little roll of toilet paper, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here for you."
It's it's creative in a very Reddit sort of way. I agree, completely agree, wholeheartedly. So let's talk about how the new patch has specifically FaZe being implemented into play has really caused a much larger shift in terms of the competitive meta than what meets the eye, right? Like anytime a new hero gets introduced, it always causes some sort of rift. But I think FaZe, her kit, her strength, the new mechanic she added to the field between the blind, the pool, her ability to have unprecedented levels of single target healing, that the support game was completely just shifted in terms of Decker has been the queen for literally the past year. Behind that, there was a point where Muriel was really strong. She received some changes. There was a point where Belica was being picked very frequently. There was a point where Rampage was the go-to support. He is still occasionally picked up as support, but more so he's still primarily a jungler or secondarily an offlaner. But I think what she has done is we're going to start to see much more diverse drafts as a whole, because so commonly team compositions are based and founded upon which support you're going to pick up. Not the carry, not the jungler, not the mid laner, not the off laner. It's the support that most frequently is what teams judge the rest of their draft off of.
Right. And the one thing with FaZe coming into play is that we see heroes we haven't seen in a very long time because of the lack of purity sensor. So we're seeing, and the lack of stuns. So we're seeing Gideon get more play. We're seeing Aurora get more play. Now, of course, you're going to look for heroes that you can pick up a purity sensor on. You're going to look at heroes that we can see pick up those cards to try and deal with that. But a lot of times we've seen, hey, here's a last pick. Here's that last pick of Aurora to try and counter that. So, guys, the replay has decided to be a little bit funky. So we've got a treat for you. We're just going to jump into the damn game. Shane, I'm in there. Let's do this.
Ladies and gentlemen, second broadcast, the game between Reborn and BED. Or BEB. I'm pretty sure Bandit starts with a B. Last time I called, I'm going to have the privilege to introduce them, Notch. I hope you don't mind. I love this guy's name, MJ-the Legend. The big question I'm asking is that Michael Jordan or is that Michael Jackson? Undetermined. Jackson. The results are inconclusive. Grafkini on Seraph. Produce Ocho Cinco on Crunch. Monkey Mike 95108 on the Gideon. And Criminal Mind 247 picking up the Grux.
Over on the side of
Reborn. That's the Bandits. That's the Bandits, guys.
That's welcome. The Bandits. Over on the side of Reborn, we've got NATO Sick on Revenant, Reflect on Belica, Jay Leo Grande in the jungle on Sevarog, Solo Nazgul mid lane on Howie, and Master Splinter is going to be playing Decker. Shane, I want to point something out now.
Point right to it. I'm looking.
Who's the support over on the side of Brown Eyed Bandits?
Is this a test?
This is a test.
I'm assuming it's Gadget, which is pretty cool.
A Gadget support. That's not something we've seen in a very long time. When Monolith first came out, we saw like Howitzer support.
No, we saw Howitzer support and Howitzer carry.
And Howitzer carry. We've seen that quite a few times. Or are we completely wrong? And is Crunch the support in the mid lane here with dual mid lane happening?
The support Crunch and mid lane Seraph. I think that this is a sort of composition that if you're a Howitzer player, you're licking your lips, boys. This is a tasty looking because there's not much that they're going to be able to do with this. And I think as of this moment, it's Grux in the off lane. So right now, as far as the jungle goes, it's pretty much been completely abandoned. Definitely a strategy we have seen very little of. Criminal Mind is going to not respect the isolation capability, not the isolation capabilities, but the way that Revenant punishes isolation. And immediately picks up kill over on a Grux.
Taking a lot of damage from Belica and is going to fall. Reflect is going to pick up that kill onto MJ the Legend there. So we're seeing Gideon in lane. Gideon is back in the off lane. Master Splinter and NATO sick over here. Push this tower. Money Mike is taking a lot of damage. If Obliterate lands, the moment they clear up these minions, expecting Obliterate possibly get a kill, he is going to retreat. Grux not in the jungle. He's going right back to lane. So I'm trying to figure this out, this draft out. I'm trying to figure the jungle has been untouched by the side of Brown-Eyed Bandits.
Yep.
We've got, of course, J. Leo doing J. Leo things, picking up that incredible jungle farm, which is going to help out not only him, but it's also going to help his team. Because every time he kills a jungle camp, 35 Amber goes into the Amber Link, and at 2 minutes, 4 minutes, it's distributed to his team. So if he farms effectively, every couple of minutes, his team's going to get that extra ambo here. Again, Money Mike in a lot of trouble. Scar's going to land. Is there an Obliterate there? There is an Obliterate. They are going to pick off that kill onto Money Mike. The meanwhile, looks like Pro Deuces is going to get picked up by J. Leo Grande, and now Seraph is in trouble in the enemy jungle as well.
Subject's going to land. Easy follow-up. Easy money. Reflect picks that up. And they get a kill, double kill over to J. Leo Grande, who, right as you were commentating the death on the other side of the field, they picked up in the mid lane as well. I believe it was the Crunch who fell. Now, let's talk about Crunch a little bit here, Sir Joshua, twitch.tv/another notch. He's a hero that, in my personal humble opinion, is very fun and has a really kind of unique kit. We have seen very, very little of him in the competitive scene. You know, Blood Mortius, bless his heart, has tried. Toronto Esports has run him in games, but I'm pretty sure he has like a 0% win rate in that sort of situation. And I won't be surprised, especially with Aurora, because you talked about one of the tools of dealing with Aurora. I'm sorry, not Aurora, Phase.
Right.
One of the big ways of dealing with Phase is just hard initiation and CC. And that's exactly what Crunch brings to the field. I actually think his kit is very well served to deal with that situation. Now, of course, that isn't applicable to this situation, but the point I'm trying to make is I won't be surprised if we actually start to see Crunch used as a tool against teams who pick a solo support phase. And I hope we get to see more of him because I think he's a really unique hero, and I'm glad that we're starting to see him on the field right here. As of right now, this Grux Gideon lane is unorthodox to say the least, but as far as the matchup goes, this 2v2 matchup, Revenant Decker, I mean, Revenant is just so good at punishing this sort of situation, man.
Revenant, the moment you isolate a hero, Scar into an Obliterate, I mean, 50 to 60% health, depending on build, early game. He's, like you said, his punish is early game, the best Marauder early game.
Yeah.
It's just bananas to watch.
Level 3
is going to fall to Reflect. He was trying to escape in the jungle. He does get picked up. Reflect picks up another gold buff here. We do see Pro Deuces going in on the solo Nazgul there. He is going to forward crunch, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to land the uppercut or land any more abilities other than that there. And solo Nazgul is going to continue to push and be a little bit aggressive in this mid lane.
Grux gets taken out. Neosic just straightforward Obliterate. Of course, another factor when Revenant is his ability to get those CXP boosts whenever he gets a kill. Inside of the Nether Realm, so they have to be careful about that. He's not level 5, but will be soon. Mid lane, Crunch and Seraph get cleaned up. Nazgul is just doing work. Nazgul was one of sort of the pioneering howitzer players when he wasn't considered a overall very strong hero, and Nazgul sort of showed up to the scene with one or two other players who made their namesake through playing this hero. And anytime you see Nazgul on howitzer, you know you're in for a treat as far as viewership goes, and I think he's meeting expectations currently. Reborn as a whole, just playing very, very well. They're put up against very unorthodox lanes that they maybe have not been able to really fully understand, but even if they don't have that understanding just through sheer mechanical talent, they've been able to get themselves a significant lead here. 9-0-3, not even 7 minutes into this game.
There has not been one jungle camp picked up over on the side of Brown-Eyed Bandits in their strong jungle. Green buff is still up. All of these camps are sitting at level 5. We've had a Grux Gideon safe off lane combo, which we have never seen before, and not really working out for the side of Brown Eye Bandits. They are just being punished here, denying their Criminal Minds quite a bit of farm, and of course the levels he needs. Running that two-person off lane is going to deny you card power. It's going to deny you those levels that off laner needs, and put you at a disadvantage. Leo swagging on these fools with that subjugate from the jungle, just to say, hey, look, I'm here. You can't see me, but I can see you. And they pick up a kill on MJ, the legend. Pro Deuces getting a little bit aggressive. Reflex on the land.
Oh, I love it. That was the midair shot from Nazgul didn't even let his feet hit the ground. He shot him out of the air. Apparently, we're playing Skeet right now. That's exactly what Nazgul did. He was able to pick up that kill. Mid lane tier 1 tower, sure to fall. And we'll see how this game continues to go. Back when Monolith first came out, Gideon was actually used, especially by a lot of EU teams, EU players specifically. There weren't really EU teams then. The game was in a little bit of disarray with the new map coming out. But Gideon was actually, at first, considered a overpowered offlaner. Obviously, people started to learn him, but still, it's interesting to see Gideon in the offlane, and I like that we're starting to see teams run him in that position again. Not much success right now, but I think Reborn, no matter who that offlaner was, they're just so talented, or not talented, rather, that speaks for itself. But as of right now, we're just playing so well that regardless, it's not really I don't think this is a draft problem at this time and moment. I think Reborn right now are just playing so immaculately and playing so well together.
It is one of the more established teams, again, the most winningest team in Paragon Competitive League, up against a brand new team here. And they're just showing them that the experience is paying off. Pushing this tier 2 tower, Pro Deuces is going to get stunned. He's going to get knocked up, and he's going to get away, but they're going to pick up a kill here. So this is one of those matches where if you're Reborn, you look at the lane setup. So you know what? We know how to play this game every shape or form. We're just going to do what we do best. And that's exactly what Reborn's doing. Oh, buddy, my game just crashed. Give me... Shane, chat it up while I get back into this replay, brother. Did we lose Shane?
Hey, guys, don't worry. His game just crashed. That's okay, though. The tier 2 tower was under pressure there, guys. It's not a Paragon Competitive League cast unless Notch crashes at least once. It's been a theme of our events dating back to our very first Gores Rising in April of last year. The tier 2 tower falls very early. Money Mike is trying not to go bankrupt, but unfortunately he does get taken out. Nadosic preemptively positioning himself forward, understanding that the torn space is going to be going out to try to get him out of the situation, and just a very straightforward kill picked up there as well. Right now, the siege defense coming out from the Bandits is not that strong. I mean, as far as their wave clear goes, they don't have that much wave clear outside of Gadget. They have 3 melee heroes that have to be very, very close to danger in order to clear out a wave, and I think Reborn's done a really solid job. They have much more range and much more ability to siege down at towers and have been exploiting that fact this entire course of the game.
I am back up, just waiting to get to a certain point in the game here, guys.
Taking a look at the builds here. Pretty straightforward stuff coming out. A lot of adamant edges on Reborn. That's sort of the go-to card for your early games. That 60 health, especially since the health now grants a little bit more than it was before, prior to the most recent patch getting a little more value out of that. Nazgul, a card that had just a very small change, but has been picked up much more frequently now, is the Armivore. It's a very good early game, gives you a lot of lane sustain, and that lane sustain has granted Nazgul a lot of presence. Howitzer is a very mana-hungry hero. His damage is completely reliant on his mana pool, and having a little bit more sustain with that mana has allowed him to get kills and pushes outside of a situation that wouldn't have happened if he didn't have that card. We see Nadosic used that ultimate to isolate Crunch, and now he's looking for a double, picks up the double as well over there under Seraph. Invasion into the jungle. Now Nadosic at 22 card points to Seraph of 9 card points. Reborn kind of ahead in this situation right here, guys. They are just... This is why we said they're one of the favorites, ladies and gentlemen. They're an extraordinarily talented team. They have been performing at the highest level of Paragon for a very, very long time. Nadosic able to get yet another kill with that Obliterate, tried to get out of its range, just narrowly wasn't able to escape it. And the siege in the mid lane, which feels like it's been happening here now for upwards of 5 minutes, continues. Looks like Reborn's finally decided to switch it up a little bit. They have relegated Reflect over to the left side of the map, and now J. Leo on the right side of the map going to be pressuring down the safe lane tower. And Reborn are just in autopilot right now. They're just sitting here with 2 members, and they're at such a lead, Notch, that 2 or 3 members of Reborn forces a response of 4 to 5 of their opponents on Bandits. And when you have that sort of lead, you can just dictate the flow of the map on such a level to where you can just spread your opponent thin and just take advantage of that. Crunch goes in, Produce gets knocked up, hit by the rocket. Master Splinter confirms the kill with an auto attack from Decker, and he's off the field for 25 seconds.
Yeah, Produce kind of got debated there by Solo Nazgul. Purple buff was on Master Splinter. He waited for Crunch to go in. I'm loving this little visual on NATO Secure. He is completely invisible on my screen. It's absolutely fantastic. It looks really, really cool. Remember the Twin Blast where he used to just float or his arms would be out?
Oh, that was the best. That was one of my favorite bugs.
I'm actually getting one similar right now in NATO Second. It's beautiful to watch. This inhib is going to be sieged down here. Tesla Dome is just going to go down to try and zone and clear with these enemy minions. Fortunately, they don't have the card power to really do much. Just free sieging basically at this point. That triple.
Oh, the big stun right there. That's going to be 2 kills. Knock him up, lay him down. That's what
Seismic Assault landed on 3 into a Void Bomb and just rip a Reno, Shane. This, just waiting for the minion wave. There's the ultimate.
Oh, the Black Hole looking for the Quadra. Money Mike not going to make the big play. That's what. That's the sort of plays you see coming out of twitch.tv/another notch. That's okay, though. Now Gadget's in a little bit of trouble. Inhibitor finally to fall. The siege feels like it's been going on for a very long time. The Inhibitor falls very iconically at 13 minutes and 37 seconds. And now the core push coming underway, a 13-minute core push. They have to be careful here. Quenching Scales is not is on cooldown, as Decker used it somewhat recently. Criminal Minds trying to do what he can to defend the core, but NATO, once again, is now at 11-0-6, 29 card points. This is such an early core push. Yes, they have a significant lead, but they just don't really do enough damage to kill the core in a timely manner. So instead, they're going to fall back, pick up these inhibitors, and just try to just the crippling blow is going to be 2 inhibitors falling, and I think Reborn kind of goes without saying are in a fantastic position.
What do Brown-Eyed Bandits have to do to come back to win here, Shane? Is there anything they can do at this point to come back and win? Produce is chasing Nazgul. He's going to get caught out and killed here.
This at this point is this isn't Bandits' game to win. It is Reborn's game to lose at this point. There would have to be some sort of long consecutive series of catastrophic failures for them to get back in this field. This is, I would say, the biggest economical deficit that we have ever had in a broadcasted match for competitive Paragon. There might have been some ones way back in the day, Notch. Way back in the day, like in Agora's Risings, but to my recollection, I do declare that this is one of the biggest leads that we've seen on any team ever, and I cannot foresee a path to victory here for Bandits. They just seem outright outmatched against Reborn, which is not. I mean, that's not really a negative thing to say. It's Reborn. I think most people going into this are going to be very feared of them. The stun from downtown. That was a half-court shot from Vecron, and he gets the kill for NATO Sick. 3 go down in the mid lane here. And they have a super minion this time. They got as we used to say, Notch, a minion that was stronger than before. Core push coming in here. And do they have enough damage to take the core down? Again, they're only at about 20 to 30 card points. 4 minions are here. And the core is going down relatively quickly. And this should be it. This should be Reborn taking a smooth sailing, smooth seas for their first game here. And the qualifier event for North America. No surprise. Yeah. This is what we expected of Reborn. Notch, this is what everyone expected of a Reborn.
Yeah, I mean, we expect them to do well. They did get placed against a team that, unfortunately, they were just outclassed. Brown-Eyed Bandit was just outclassed when it comes to the strengths of Reborn. One thing I want to point out is that all of these matches was completely random seed because we had so many teams sign up. So GG to Reborn. They've got a couple more games they got to play today before they move on to the 17th and 18th matches. Brown-Eyed Bandit. They also have a couple more matches that they're going to be playing. I don't know if it was a graphical bug on my screen or not, but Solon Nazgul had only spent 7 points while he was sitting at 22. I believe it was a bug. I believe he wasn't being BM. I believe it was a bug. But yeah, Reborn just putting on a clinic, saying Brown-Eyed Bandits, welcome to the competitive league. There's a reason we're the best. Let us show you why. And that's exactly what they did. Guys, don't forget these matches, what these teams are playing for. $15,000 exhibition invite. That's going to happen August, I believe 4th through the 6th is what the blog post said. The team that wins this event, first place gets $2,500 and a trip to Epic. Second place all just gets that trip to Epic, which I say just, but that's an invite.
Yeah, like, oh no.
Just the trip. But that is an invite to the biggest Paragon tournament to date, which is incredibly exciting for Paragon and the competitive scene as a whole. I know a lot of us have been doing this for like a year plus. So thank you guys as always for watching. Thank you guys for supporting the competitive scene. We're going to take just a quick break here, jump into our third game of the day. Shane, any final thoughts before we take a break, buddy?
Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for being a part of everything that we've done. And of course, we can't forget the other qualifiers going on, as the EU qualifiers that was put on by GAX, and the Western European qualifiers, I should say, as well as the Eastern EU qualifiers. Those are the other two teams. So 2 from North America, 1 from Western Europe, and 1 from Eastern Europe, CIS, Russia region. And putting on those broadcasts as well, so make sure you check out those either in VODs or try to catch them live if you possibly can. If you're here in North America, the times might be a little bit difficult to deal with. But when it comes to competitive Paragon, I'll wake up at the crack of dawn. I don't care if it's going on. I'm there. It's been a great time, and just want to get to the next game, my man. Let's keep this train rolling. Let's keep it going. You can't stop the hype train.
You cannot stop the hype train. Guys, we'll be back in just a few minutes with a third game of the day. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting. We'll see you guys in just a minute.